Y'all know I am much more comfortable cooking than baking, but today I decided to attempt homemade cinnamon rolls completely from scratch. And they involve yeast, which has never exactly been my friend. Why am I sweating? While I try not to completely ruin these cinnamon rolls, I'm also answering your questions you've asked me here on my recent YouTube post. And if that wasn't enough pressure, we're also gonna try making a well-loved dinner in the slow cooker for the first time tonight. So let's see if these cinnamon rolls actually rise, or if today is just a giant baking disaster. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. My heart is pounding. Can you hear it? My microphone is really close to my heart. Maybe you hear it. We're doing this thing. I have said for the longest time that I'm not a baker, but let me tell you, it intimidates me. I don't have the patience for it. Can I bake things that are really simple? Yes. But yeast, working with yeast, I have killed yeast before and didn't realize it and then messed everything up. It just intimidates me and I don't have the patience. So today we're gonna be trying Sally's Baking Addictions cinnamon rolls, and she says, her words, it's for novice bakers like myself or experienced bakers. And it's the easy version because the dough or the rolls only have one long rise. So I've got all my ingredients here. I do have instant yeast, which she said that I needed. I've got to make sure I don't get the liquid too hot for the instant yeast, thereby killing it. But we're gonna do this. I love some cinnamon rolls and I've never attempted to make them from scratch at home. While I measure out all the ingredients and get going today, here's the trick. I'm gonna be somewhat sidetracked because I'm gonna be talking and answering your questions. But while I'm doing that, I am gonna be answering your questions from a community post that I did yesterday. It has 78 comments, so I don't know if those are 78 questions or what we've got going on here. But I'm just gonna look through these and answer some of your questions, and we're just gonna chit chat and hang out. Almost like my batter chatter from back in the day. When I did bake, again, very small amounts of baking, but it's gonna be kind of that feel. And then we're also gonna make a crock-pot dinner in just a little bit. But I'm going to do the cinnamon rolls first, and then we'll get dinner in the crock pot because it doesn't have to cook for too long. I've got the recipe here on my phone. Let's start measuring things out. We need 2 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, spooned and leveled, plus more as needed. That's for like sprinkling on the counter, all of that. So let's measure that out. So the first question that I really saw, and a couple of people mentioned it, and it had a lot of likes on it, was, am I going to bring back subby suppers? And the answer to that is possibly. I think I've mentioned it before, maybe in a live, and if you didn't catch that live, then you wouldn't know. But the Google form that I had for subby suppers in the past, I think I should be measuring this over here, not over the bowl that it goes in. Hi, I'm Mandy, and I don't know what I'm doing. The Google form that I used for it in the past worked for a time, until it didn't. There were so many responses, thousands of responses, and Google Forms are great to a point, and it may have to do with the fact of how I created the Google form, but I could not easily filter through them and search. It was a task and a half, and it became a tedious task. There's one. How much do we need? Look, I've already forgotten, y'all. This is going to be great. 2 3/4. Okay, there's one. It became such a tedious task that it was taking hours to try and find one recipe because it was hard to, I can't even explain it. All I could see was basically the Gmail address or the email address from each person. I couldn't see more information about it. It was just very strange. It became too tedious and not worth it because it was taking me too long to do it. So my very lovely husband is currently rebuilding my website. I have a website that I paid to have made several years ago. Am I being too tedious with this? I don't know. Okay, there's 2. And then we need 3/4, which is this. I paid to have done, and it served its purpose for a time, but it's time to update it and add some more functionality, basically, because as it is right now, it's just not great. So if you've wondered why I haven't really been adding recipes to it, that's why. Because I knew that Stephen was going to be working on creating me a new one. He's doing that in his spare time, and I really appreciate it. That's what he does for a living. He does like software development, web development, that type of thing. 2 3/4 cup into the large thing. I think now we need 1/4 cup of sugar to go in there. Is that right? Sugar and salt. Okay. So 1/4 cup of sugar. So hopefully we will get something built into that eventually to where y'all can submit your recipes again, and it will be easier for me to filter through them and look for one to make. Look, I went over here to put this up and I just realized I'm gonna need this in a minute. Okay, 1/4 cup of sugar. Okay, I have a 1/2 cup measure in the sugar container, but I wanna get this precise because I know with baking you need to be precise. Okay, 1/4 cup of sugar. And how much salt? 1/2 teaspoon. I can put this sugar up though because I'm done with it. Short story long, right? Yes, hopefully Subby Suppers will be coming back. I'm just not sure as to how soon. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna whisk this together. So just combine that. I did watch the video that Sally did of this. Watched it a couple of times. The nerves that I have, and someone said something in my comments basically saying, I would like to see you attempt to bake more. And I said, you know, watch on Friday. And someone replied to that and said, did you see her work with the pizza dough? It's a hot mess. Right. Correct. You were not incorrect, and it made me laugh to see that. All right, so that's good and mixed together. Now we need to combine milk and butter into a heat-proof bowl. And we need to microwave or use the stove to heat it until the butter has melted and the mixture is warm to the touch, but not hot. And it says not to get it above 110 degrees. That stresses me out. I don't know. 3/4 cup of whole milk. So let me grab, I did go to the store and get whole milk. So 3/4 cup of this. And we need 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I do remember that. Someone said they love to see me and Tabby hang out together, and they asked if I would be willing to do, or me and Tabby could cook together. And she said, I'm not sure if that's Tabby's thing. It's absolutely Tabby's thing. Tabby is a great cook. She's all the time sending me pictures of what she's made for dinner. And going back to that whole Subby Supper thing, a long time ago, before Tabby had, was it before she had restarted her channel? Possibly. She sent me her recipe for lasagna, Tabby's lasagna, and I featured that as a Subby Supper. Y'all, it is one of the best, if not the best, lasagnas I've ever made, and my parents make it all the time. My mom will say, I'm having Tabby's lasagna tonight, and that's what we call it, Tabby's lasagna. So yes, I think that is something we can do in the future, probably in the fall once her kids are in school, so that we could, you know, do that while the kids are in school and she could come over and cook. But yes, I would love to do that because she's done several decor videos, or we've done several decor videos together, but we definitely need to be doing a cooking video together. All right, I'm gonna put this in the microwave. I put it in there for a minute, but I'm gonna check on it. I have a meat thermometer, but I don't think that's gonna work to see if it's hot. Basically, it says you should be able to touch it. It says the mixture is warm to the touch. We were 30 seconds in, the butter hasn't melted. It's all good. Everybody calm down. It's gonna be okay. I'm just saying everybody, I mean me. I need to calm down. All right, after we do this, then we have to put in the yeast. It said 1 pack of instant yeast, but she also gave the exact measurement, so you best believe I'm gonna measure it out because I don't trust that this is the exact amount that she's talking about. I need 2 1/4 teaspoons of this yeast. I feel like that's too hot. Okay, the butter has not melted completely. It's warm to the touch though. It's not hot. I'm gonna let the butter sit here and melt, and let's measure out this yeast while we do that. All right, I did not get active dry yeast. I got fast rising instant yeast, which is what she said to do. I said we're gonna measure it out. Oh, we can, duh. Okay, so I've got a teaspoon measure here, and you can use both, either or sides. So we need 2 1/4 teaspoons. No, I don't want to do that because how am I going to pour it in if they're both? It's a comedy show over here. Oh, okay. There's the 1/4 teaspoon. We got that. Let's check on our butter. It's almost melted. There's the butter. So it's almost melted. This is warm. It's definitely not hot. So I'm just going to continue to let that butter melt. It's almost there. I'm shaking. What is wrong with me? So, yes, Tabby and I hopefully will be cooking together very soon. Oh, I have an egg. I'd put it in like just tap warm water to let it come to room temperature for about, it's probably been close to 10 minutes. So that's ready because we'll need that in a minute too. Whisk in the yeast until it has dissolved. So let me get a little whisk. A subscriber sent me this little whisk. Let me move this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing here. All right. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay, I think we're good. Here we go. So 2 1/4 teaspoons. Here's a 1/4 teaspoon. There's 1 teaspoon. There's the 2nd teaspoon. How much is left? Oh, okay. It was accurate, just so you know. This is 2 1/4 teaspoons. So let's whisk that together until the yeast is dissolved. My heart is pounding. Can you hear it? My microphone is really close to my heart. Maybe you hear it. I just don't want to mess this up, y'all. I know it would be great comedy for YouTube to see me fail at this, but I really want to know how to do this. And she said it was easy and that it was for the beginner too. So here we are. I've got my good spatula. I love this one. Is it Pampered Chef? Of course it is. I love Pampered Chef stuff. Okay, so let's stir that in. Pour the mixture and then add the egg. Here's the egg. I'm gonna add the egg here first, just in case something's wrong with it, you know. So let's start to stir this and let me answer another question. Okay, the next question is about our 50 States, 50 Plates series. Basically said, what has been my favorite dish from the 50 States, 50 Plates? Because we've done 21 of them now. And what has been my least favorite? And then is there a state I'm looking forward to the most? So my least favorite, hands down, was Rhode Island. Sorry, Rhode Island. It was that clear clam chowder. And everyone said I overcooked the clams, but I'm telling you, they were in the soup for less than like 2 minutes, and then we served it. I think it was just the fact that it was canned clams that we used. I'd never had clams before either. They were kind of rubbery. It was not a vibe. I was not vibing with that at all. The broth itself was fine, even though it had a ton of clam juice in it. It was fine, but that's been my least favorite thing so far. Okay, favorite thing so far. What was it? Vermont? The cheddar ale soup. I want that again now. And I know it's summertime, it's hot, but I'm telling you, that cheddar ale soup was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I think that's my favorite. You would think that I would say like South Carolina because it was shrimp and grits, but I think Vermont was, I think it shocked me. And then who am I looking forward to? Maybe Wisconsin, because I'm guessing it's gonna have something to do with cheese and I love cheese. Maybe California, because they've got some really good fresh Tex-Mex type stuff, but I don't know if that's what what it's gonna be. I don't research what we're gonna make for each one until we draw it from the jar. Okay, this is coming together. Can you see this? It's kind of sticky. Is it supposed to be sticky like that? I don't know. Okay, I just went back and watched good old Sally. She is phenomenal. Okay, and hers was not this sticky. So I'm gonna add in a little more flour. See, here we go. Here we go, folks. Not a lot, just a little bit to hopefully make it not quite as sticky. I don't know, y'all. This is why I don't bake. This right here. This stresses me out. Okay, that seemed to help. It wasn't a lot, not even a 1/4 cup. It was just a little dusting. Okay, that seems to be a little bit better. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Why am I sweating? Let's move this. I already cleaned my surface earlier. So let's add some all-purpose flour. And we're gonna knead this dough. It is still sticky, but here we are, folks. Here we are. Flour on my hands too, right? Am I doing this right? Knead the dough for 3 to 5 minutes. If the dough is super soft or sticky, you can add a little more flour. Okay, so let's knead this, and I'm gonna answer another question. And I'm gonna paraphrase this. I'll put the comment on the screen. But she basically said, did I intend to be like a comfort creator for people? A lot of cooking shows kind of do that. Oh, this feels good. It's no longer sticky. Anyway, she asked if I meant to be a comfort creator. Yes and no. And let me kind of explain that. When I first started my channel, I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I didn't know if I would do cleaning, because back then I was watching cleaning. I say back then, 2018. I was watching cleaning channels a good bit. So I didn't know if that's what I wanted to do, but I also thought about cooking, and I did some DIY and decor stuff. I was a little all over the place. But I was very nervous when I first got started. This is going to kind of bleed into somebody else's question too, and I'll try and find it too. But I was really nervous, and I didn't know what I was doing. Number one, I was trying to figure it out as I went. But also, I was way too critical of myself on camera. There's this beautiful thing called editing. Let me just tell you. And so if you mess up, now, if you're in the middle of cooking and you mess up, it is what it is. But if you misspeak, if you say something wrong, or you do something that you're like, I don't want that on the internet, then you can edit it out. It's really not that big a deal, but I was way too hard on myself when I first started. And so I wasn't as natural as I am now. Now I say I don't care. I care, but I don't. I don't take myself so seriously. I was taking myself too seriously when I first got started. Then once I got more comfortable in front of the camera and realized, hey, I can edit out the things that I don't love, then I started relaxing. And I did at that point say, okay, I do want to bring comfort to people. I want people to feel like they're coming to hang out with a friend. And I want people to feel like it's just a relaxing time, not have to watch super close, but just listen to me in the background if they want to, because that's what I enjoy doing with YouTube. All of my whole inspiration for starting YouTube was that I was in a place where I was watching YouTube a lot. I was in a part of my life where I was watching it way more than I watched anything else. It was my TV. And so I was like, I mean, if these people can do it, I can do it, right? Not saying that in a bad way, but like it can't be that hard. It's not hard, but it's a lot of work. You just don't know until you're in it. You don't realize how much work having a YouTube channel is. And when a lot of people just post once a week, and I kind of want to do that too, because there's so much that goes into each video, especially with a cooking channel. There's recipe research. There's just a lot that goes into it that's behind the scenes. See, it's still sticking some. It's not just grab the camera and film something and be done. There's lots of prep, then there's filming, and then there's editing, and then there's uploading it and doing all of the links and all of the things. It's tedious. I just thought, if these people can do it, I can do it too. And I'm one of those people who, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to put my weight behind it, So I just really started enjoying it. And then once I got more comfortable with it, I said, yeah, I want to not take myself so seriously and make mistakes on camera and leave it in. And yeah, in the beginning, I didn't do that. In the beginning, I highly edited everything. And it was like a production. I don't know who I thought I was. Martha Stewart up in here? No. But now it's a lot more fun. I enjoy it. And I'm flattered that you said, did I set out to be a comfort creator? That means that you think that I am, and that makes me happy. I want y'all to come here and have fun here, and it just be a safe space to just relax. And you know that your kids can watch with you, your grandkids can watch with you. You're not going to see anything inappropriate, hear anything inappropriate. That's kind of where I am. That's what I want for my channel. Okay, I just went and grabbed another bowl. I am going to spray it with some nonstick spray because she says to. And we're going to transfer our dough in here. It's not sticky. It's good. I'm happy with it. And then it says cover it loosely and let it rise for 10 minutes. So I'm going to grab a kitchen towel and just cover that and let it hang out for 10 minutes. Let me set a timer because I'll forget. I'll get to talking and forget. I would like to say that I feel like the hard part's over, but I really don't. I don't feel like that was the hardest part. I feel like there's more hard coming. Okay, I'm almost done kind of cleaning up this portion, but we've got to get the filling for the rolls ready. So we're supposed to be doing that right now. So I am heating up some water in the microwave in a glass measuring cup. We need to really, really soften this butter. I have 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter that's gonna be as part of the filling-ish, you'll see. But anytime I try and soften butter, really soften it in the microwave, I end up melting part of it and then part of it's not. I've learned recently that if I heat up water in a glass container, pour it out, and then put that container on top of, like turn it over on top of the butter, it will soften it really quickly and evenly. So that's what I'm gonna do. So we need 1/3 cup of packed brown sugar. You can use light or dark, it says. Just opened up a new package of brown sugar. And then we need about 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. Let's just mix that together. I'm going to change the battery in my camera because it's already dying because I've been yapping so much. But we've got our filling here and our butter is over here softening. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. I don't know that it rose any, but you know, maybe it did. So we need a little more flour here on the surface. We've got to roll this out to about 14 by 8, it says. Pop that there and let's roll it out. Oh, sir, I got it covered. This is where it went all wrong for me with the pizza dough. But everyone said I had to let the yeast rest, and this has been resting, and you know, I didn't pull it out of the fridge. So that's a good sign, right? Okay, it's still a little bit of an oval, but I'm trying here. It's definitely a lot better than when I did the pizza crust. You gotta give me that. If you were here for the pizza crust, raise your hand. And I'm sorry. I don't know, it was good entertainment, right? I'm gonna be real honest. This is about as rectangle-ish as it's gonna get. I mean, it's a rounded rectangle, but it's good enough. I wonder if Sally would be proud of me. What if she ever saw this video? She won't. But what if she did? And she's like, good gosh, let me go change that. It is not for beginners. Or maybe it's for beginners. It's just not for Mandy. Ta-da! Our melted butter is going on. And someone, I don't know who, sent me a double pack of these, I don't know, I call them icing spatulas. I don't know what it is. But someone sent this to me from Amazon to my P.O. box, but there was no like gift note or anything in there. So whoever you are, thank you very much for sending me these. I had one, but it was a really, really small one. So maybe that's why. Did they see me use it maybe? And they sent me these. I don't know. But I really appreciate that. So I'm using that today. But I'm taking that 3 tablespoons of butter and I'm just spreading it all over. Now we're going to sprinkle our sugar all over the dough. I'm trying to even it out a little bit because I don't feel like I did a great job of that, but I think it'll be okay. Roll up into a 14-inch log, cut into, okay, wait, I need that thingy. While I'm rolling it, let's answer another question. Okay, someone asked what my favorite meal that my mama made was. The 2 that come to mind most often when I think of mama cooking for me would be red macaroni, which I've made that here on my channel numerous times, kind of like a goulash, but we call it red macaroni. So red macaroni, and me and Steven, that's still one of our go-to. Somebody else asked like what our go-to meals are. Red macaroni. We love that. So does Cole. It's always been a favorite. So there's that. And then another thing, I'm trying to wipe off the extra flour. I don't want this to be, I don't want it to dry out. I think I had too much flour down. The other thing that I think of is her fried chicken. She was always so good at fried chicken, but here's the thing. She didn't normally serve it hot. She would make it early and stick it in the fridge. We would eat it cold. Do y'all do that? I don't do that now as an adult. Usually I just serve it hot, but I can remember too, she would do that, especially like in the summertime, and we would have a lot of fresh veggies from our garden. We had a pretty small garden, but we would have tomatoes and okra. Oh my goodness, my mom and dad would fight over fried okra. That was the only thing my mama didn't really ever make me eat. It was always, you know, you need to eat what's on your plate. But she never even put fried okra on my plate, and here's why. Her and my dad love fried okra so much. Now, as an adult, I love fried okra, but when I was younger, I did not like it. Her and my dad love fried okra so much that they would kind of fight over, not fight as in truly fight, but they would each take their fork and kind of stab at the last pieces that were on the plate, like the serving platter of the fried okra. And so she didn't want to share it with me and Brittany, me and my sister. So she never made me eat fried okra. But I can just remember her making a lot of like corn on the cob and things like that. Like it just sticks out in my mind as the fresh summer veggies along with our, look, did I do that right? I feel like that's not right, but maybe it is. With our fried chicken. So I have way too much flour on this end. I'm trying to fix this situation here. It's because the flour kind of went out on the ends when I was rolling it out. And so it ended up on the ends. Now, I've got my little dough slicer thingy. It says 10 to 12 of these. So let's see how many we get. 1, 10, 11. Look at that. Oh, that end piece. We're just going to take that off. If there's space in there, I'll put that in there. But I got 11. Am I supposed to grease this? Let me look. But I do know that I'm going to preheat my oven and then turn it off. She said put it in a warm place to rise. And I was like, well, what defines warm? So she had a link there to her baking with yeast guide. It was very helpful. Sally has been wonderful. But it said to preheat the oven to 150 and then turn it off. So I'm going to do that. Okay, the lowest my temperature will go is 170. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it. Lightly greased. Yes. So let's lightly grease this. Now let's put these in here. They're definitely smaller on the end. Okay, I do have room for my little itty bitty one. Now I need to grab some aluminum foil. And we're just waiting on this to come up to temperature. It's at 135 right now, so let's not miss that. And then basically we're just gonna put these in the oven with the door ajar for 30 minutes. And then I'll close the door for the last 30 minutes. And it's gonna rise for an hour. Okay, a couple of questions about Maggie Moo and then just some statements about Maggie Moo. But someone asked if she likes cheese. No. I did try to give her some cheese and she sniffed it, she licked it, and then she looked at me like, that's not ham. My girl loves some ham, but she doesn't even like chicken. I had plain chicken, plain. No seasonings, no nothing, plain chicken. Turned her nose up at it. She is not big on human food other than ham. Girl loves some ham. She likes chicken flavored treats because that's her treats, but not actual chicken. I don't know. But we have really just fallen in love with that girl. She is such a great cat. We do still miss our Gracie Lou. Just not too long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, I was laying in bed at night and I just started crying, missing my Gracie Lou. Maggie Moo has definitely filled in a gap that we had, but no one will ever fill my Gracie Lou's shoes, obviously. They're all very different in their own way, but she's wonderful. We do love our Maggie Moo so much. Mary said, is that your wedding pic at the end of your table? May we see it? Well, since we've got some time, let's go look at the wedding pic. Yes, it is my bridal portrait from 2000. That picture was taken in probably April of 2000. We got married June 3rd. I was 18, and that is what that is. And then my friend Shelly, her grandfather, made this frame for me way back in 2000, and we've just kept it. Now, I have told Stephen multiple times, I'm like, can we take that picture out and maybe do like a family canvas picture in there? And his answer is always, no. He loves that, and so I just leave it there. It's fine. But yeah, it's beautiful. Also, I don't think I've really shown y'all the updates of this room. We got a new chandelier. It's much brighter in here. And the old color on the wall was very similar to this, but it had a green undertone. And so I found the closest match to it with a blue undertone. And I think this is called Cadet, I think, by Sherwin-Williams. And then we had beadboard put down here on the bottom. So I don't know if it's coming off, but we also had the chair rail raised some. It was a good bit lower, so we had it raised and beadboard done, and it just feels very cottagey in here. I love it. It's not too much change, but just enough to fit into our house a little bit better. I just noticed that it says on Sally's baking edition, I keep wanting to say addition, it's addiction, that it could take up to 90 minutes for them to rise. We'll see. I'm not going to sit here and chat with y'all this entire time, but I did want to answer or address this next question because I think it's pretty important. I believe it's Abigail asked, how do you handle the stress and negativity from unkind folks in person and online. Okay, I will say, it's very rare that someone is very unkind and rude in person. It's really easy to be really ugly and show your true colors online. I am of the mind, if I see something that I don't agree with or I don't like, I just scroll right past it and choose to spend my time watching something and consuming something that I do enjoy. But unfortunately, there are not a lot of people, well, there are a good many people who can't do that. They feel like they have to say their opinion, and their opinion is the correct one, of course. And they have to be unkind and ugly and say things they would never say in person online. Not just to me, just in general. Get online for 5 minutes and you see it. It's the nature, it's the ugly part of the internet. With saying that, in the beginning when I first started my channel and I started getting rude, constructive criticism or saying, hey, I think you did that wrong, that's not rude, that's fine. It's the ones who are ugly about it and or just ugly about anything in general. Where is my, here it is. Those are the ones that really got to me when I first started doing YouTube. I mean, really got to me. It really upset me. But Stephen said, you know, you're going to have to grow a thicker skin and you're going to have to understand that this is just the way the internet works. And if you can't handle it, then you need to step away. And he was right. And I had to just do some reflection on that. And now I'm happy to report that when I see ugly comments, I'm not going to say they never bother me because I'm a human and words can hurt, you know? But for the most part, I just delete it and roll on. I don't give any attention to it at all. None, zero. It's not worth my time to go back and forth with them. And I don't want to draw attention to them being ugly. They need to go be ugly somewhere else, not here. So how do I handle it? I just try my hardest to overlook it and just move past it. That's what I do. I have to realize that their opinion, everyone has an opinion. Everyone has an opinion. And we all have differing opinions. Some of our opinions may be closer in line with others, but there's a lot of different personalities out there. So I just have to understand that not everybody's going to like me, number one. And I don't care what a random stranger on the internet says about me. I know what's true about me. My family and my friends know what's true about me. The Lord knows what's true about me. I need to not be concerned about trying to please everybody and their brother. So I really try hard to just ignore it. It's tough, but I do. I just ignore it and I don't respond to it and I just block that person because if they're ugly once, guess what? They'll be ugly again. I've learned that. I block them and just delete the comment. I try my hardest to just not feed into that. So if you're having problems with that, I highly recommend that you just, as soon as you see something that is upsetting to you and it's not pleasant, it's not kind, it is meant to be hurtful, delete it and don't think about it. Because if you keep reading it and you keep overanalyzing it, it will eat you up. Ask how I know. So I'm going to finish cleaning up. My dad had called me a little while ago while I was in the midst of the fiasco. And I told him I would call him back. So I'm going to call my dad back and wash dishes and kind of just keep an eye. This has got 18 more minutes until I close the I almost said lid, the door. And then we'll check on it at an hour and see. I'll have to go back and look at Sally's video again to see what hers looked like when she said, okay, that's enough rising, you know? I really hope Sally sees this video. I really do. So she can at least get a good laugh. Okay, it's been an hour. Obviously at 30 minutes I came and closed the door. Let's pull this out and hopefully they have doubled in size. That is the hope. Did she do it? She did, folks. Let's fix this one. Oh, I hit a little, whoop. There we go, that one fell over. But they most definitely rose. Let's preheat this oven to 375. Can I just tell you how proud I am right now? I mean, really. Wow. Okay, let's pop these in here. They're gonna bake for 24 to 27 minutes. I'm gonna set it at 24 and then we'll just check on them. I've got to kind of clean up from lunch. We had some leftovers for lunch, but I thought I would answer a question real quick. That was probably really loud, sorry about that. Someone asked if me and Steven graduated from Clemson. No, we did not. You would think so with as much love as we have for Clemson. So a couple things. First of all, my mom graduated from Clemson. So I've been a Clemson fan since I was in the womb, you know, kind of a given at that point. Steven's family have always leaned towards Clemson. Here's the thing, but none of them that I know of went to Clemson. When you're in South Carolina, and I'm sure it's the same kind of, like in Bama, whether you're Roll Tide or you're War Eagle, you just choose one. And you stick with that one. And it's, you know, if that's your ride or die, you're not going to flip-flop. But even if you didn't go to either of the schools, you choose one of the two. You're either Gamecocks or Clemson fans in South Carolina. So I've been a Clemson fan my entire life. Steven has too, but it's not because we went there. I would have loved to have gone there, but no, I got married instead of going there. I did go to college. I graduated from it used to be called USCS, so University of South Carolina, Spartanburg. But now it's University of South Carolina Upstate. They changed the name to it. And then Steven got his degree while he was in the Air Force. So, yes, I did go to college, just not Clemson, but we are huge Clemson fans. The timer just went off. Oh my stars, those look good. What have I done? Are you kidding me right now? Did I just successfully bake something from scratch with yeast? This channel will now be called Mandy in the Baking because I'm a professional baker. Thanks. Just kidding. But I am going to check the temperature with my meat thermometer because she did mention that the middle needs to be like 195 to 200. So let's check on that. Just to make sure like I don't have a gooey middle or something crazy, you know? We're good. It's perfect. Okay. I'm going to put this on a wire rack that's sitting right over here. And look at my little itty bitty one too. Can you see it? Hold on, I'll show it to you. While we let these cool for a little bit, we're going to make the icing to go on top. But let me show you the little itty bitty one. Me. How pretty. I could cry. I'm so excited right now. This is a huge accomplishment for me. I know y'all are like, Mandy, this is ridiculous. But this is a big deal. Let's make some icing for this. I've got half a block or 4 ounces of cream cheese that is room temperature. This, I've got 2 tablespoons of butter, unsalted. So basically we used an entire stick of butter for this recipe. But I need to soften this a little bit more. So I'm going to stick this in the microwave and we're going to cream this. Now our butter is softened. Let's add that in and cream that together. Okay, that's done. Now we just need to add in our confectioner's sugar, powdered sugar. I've got 2/3 a cup. And we need about a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm just gonna add all that. All right, let's just combine all that. We're done. Our icing is done. Let's test it. That's delicious. Okay. Ooh. I just want to sit here and lick this beater. Okay. Let's bring the rolls over here and put the icing on them, and then I think Steven will be able to come in here and join us for a taste test. Can we even believe it? And then after we do a taste test of that, it's finally time for me to start getting dinner in the crock pot. So we'll do that together too. I need to be honest with y'all and tell you I just about dropped these on the floor because I picked this whole thing up to bring it over here. Look how easily it slides on here. Wasn't thinking about that. And I just turned and just about slung them all over the floor. Do you know how hard I would have cried? Okay, let's take our icing, spread this all over the top. Would you look at that? Look at me, acting like I know what I'm doing. I've got my skinny boat oar for this. So let's see if I can get one of these out of here. It's so pretty. Okay, I have our 2 cinnamon rolls ready to go. And I have a husband coming this way. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Your wife baked cinnamon rolls from scratch.
I'm your man. I'm your man. Golly.
Well, that's 2 of them. But yeah.
But still. Man.
Are you impressed?
Yeah. I mean, them things are mountains.
I know.
Where's something?
You just pick it up and eat it.
Look at that.
I hope it tastes good.
It's
We're about
so
to find
fluffy.
out. Uh-huh. We're going to see. Tink.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a doggone good cinnamon roll right there. Now, I don't want to hear nothing else about you not being able to bake. This is incredible.
It is good.
Yeah.
It's not dry. Thank goodness. I was worried about that.
Icing is so good too.
I didn't make me no coffee. I need to make some coffee.
Oh yeah, that would be good with this.
If you want to stop, I'll make you some coffee.
I mean, there's more to eat.
We have a whole pan to eat.
Yeah. You did good, baby.
I'm so proud of myself right now.
I'm not surprised.
I am. I was so stressed. This turned out great. If you don't think you can bake either, you can make this. You can. With Sally's help. Sally, she was amazing. But yeah, this is great. It is a little while later and we're going to get started on dinner. I've been craving some Mexican Tex-Mex type food and I don't want to heat up the kitchen again. We already heated up the kitchen earlier with the cinnamon rolls. It's summertime and I like to do a lot of stuff either on the grill, in the air fryer, or in the crock pot. Today we're doing crock pot loaded nachos. So obviously we're not putting the nachos into the crock pot, but we're gonna create the things that are gonna go on top of the nachos right here in the crock pot. So let's do it. I'm using my smaller crock pot today because I'm only doing a pound of ground beef. So I don't need a large one for this. But this first part is going to be very, very simple. It took me forever to be able to say, you know what, it's okay to put raw ground beef into the crock pot. I don't know why I had such a problem with that for such a long time, but I did. But if I can get it open, there we go. I thawed out this pound. I don't know if it's completely 100% thawed, but it's close. So let's add that to the crock pot. Let me go get my mix and chop. It's still a little frozen in the very middle. It's not bad though. We're just gonna break that up. We're gonna add some taco seasoning in with it and a little bit of salsa too. Now after this cooks, we'll be able to break it up even more, but I just wanted to kind of spread it evenly. Ooh, would you like some packaging with your meat? No, we would not. Good job, Mandy. Okay, that's good enough for now. Now I've got a jar of salsa. I've got medium salsa. You just want some chunky salsa. I'm going to use about half of this jar. Pour that in. Then taco seasoning. You can use a pack of taco seasoning, or if you have it like I do, about 2 to 3 tablespoons. Just kind of stir all of that together. And then you can put this on high for a couple of hours, which honestly, I'm going to go ahead and do that because it's already 2:30 in the afternoon. So yeah, I'm going to do a couple of hours. You can do it on low for 4, but let's put it on high for 2. So at 4:30, this part will be ready, and then we have some more things to add at that point. It is a little after 4:30 because you see my big old popcorn thing? It also doubles as a watermelon holder. We had a watermelon, you may have noticed it on my countertop earlier. We've had a watermelon for a couple of days and I always just dread chopping it up. I came in here at 4:15 and I thought I'll be done by 4:30. It's 4:40, you know how that goes. However, it holds almost a whole watermelon. I've eaten a good bit of it. But it is time to move on with our dinner. I have not touched this at all, so let's take a look at it. It may fog y'all up. Let me move you this way. Okay, so it's done, but we need to drain off some of that liquid because some of it is fat. So let me grab my pot holders. Yeah, that's hot. And I'm just gonna drain this excess liquid into this cup with a paper towel in it. Obviously, we don't wanna pour that down the drain, but I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. Okay, we drained the excess liquid. Now let's just break all of this up and let's add in some more ingredients. So I drained and rinsed a can of black beans. I'm gonna pour that in. That bulks it up a good bit too, which is nice. Then I'm gonna throw in, normally y'all know I like to shred my own cheese, but I was in Aldi and I saw they had the taco style and I do like this. So I just grabbed this, taking the easy way out today. I'm gonna do a handful of cheese now that we're gonna mix in. And then I've got some red enchilada sauce too, but I don't want to use this whole can because it'll be way too soupy. But I am gonna pour maybe half the can in. Let's go ahead and stir that around. Okay, that's pretty good. I may add a little more enchilada sauce. And then I'm gonna top it with cheese and I'm gonna put the lid back on it. It's still on high and I'm gonna leave it on high for 15 to 30 minutes just to melt that cheese really well. Let that enchilada sauce heat through. And then we're gonna serve it over top of some tortillas. This is an easy one, y'all. So easy. And we didn't have to heat up the kitchen, which is even better. Okay, be back in just a little bit. Okay, it's been about almost 30 minutes, about 20 minutes. And it is done, friends. Now I just need to grab my thing of tortilla chips and let's load it up.
Oh boy.
Steven came in, he was like, whoa. Lots of watermelon. I got these tortilla chips at Aldi. Y'all, I love the shape of them and they're super sturdy. Let me show you. See how long they are?
Yeah.
And they're really sturdy. Maggie Moo
Nice and thick.
had to go tell the cat to stop sharpening her claws on my rug in there. She's usually pretty good about that. So we're just gonna make one plate for me and Steven to share.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna load up the chips here on the bottom and then we're just gonna top it with everything. Yum. Let's get some avocado. Magnificent. What do you need? You think I have something for you, don't you?
Don't be mean or I'll become maleficent.
We call her Magnificent. She's got all kinds of names, bless her little heart. Okay, that's enough for that.
She can't do no wrong, can she?
Okay. How'd you feel about that this morning when she woke you up real early?
She come bouncing in there.
Oh my gosh.
She pounced on me in the bed.
She never does that either. So
On my legs. I mean, she wasn't, she was just, she had the zoomies.
She had the zoomies this morning. It was like 5 o'clock and he's been up since then. He didn't sleep well last night.
I didn't sleep well, and then she was like, nope, time to get up, boy.
All right, let's put some sour cream on top and then I'll get some Cholula out as well. All right, that is dinner tonight, babe.
She's pretty.
She is pretty. Found a little bit of lime and I thought that might be good over top of it too.
For sure. Oh, let's see if we can get all the lovely bits on here.
I'm done.
Lovely bits. Oh.
And it broke. I just talked about how sturdy it was and look at that.
No, I actually grabbed it wrong.
Okay.
That is a fiesta.
Good.
But that, yeah, that sauce mixed in with that meat and those beans.
Delish. Yeah. Well, this is dinner tonight, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
I love this.
Good. Awesome. That is delicious.
Yeah.
That's what I was craving.
Super good. I haven't had a good nacho plate in a long time.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, this is really good. There's so many things you can do with things like this.
Right.
Toppings wise and sauces and stuff.
Get it all over your face.
Might want to put some raw onion on there. That's my kind of meal right there where you can just hodgepodge it.
Yep, with whatever you got.
Good job, babe.
So that's going to do it for today. We made cinnamon rolls successfully, might I add. So maybe I'm not a horrible baker. I just need to have more confidence and more patience and just realize that I just don't know everything there is to know and I've got a lot to learn. Dinner tonight, making that in the crock pot for the first time, that was actually genius because it didn't heat up my kitchen and it was really simple and hands off. I didn't even have to brown the meat. I didn't have to do anything. We just dumped it all in there and it was ready. And I thought I'd answer one more question. Someone asked me one of my favorite Bible verses, and I have to say one of my favorites is Proverbs 3:6. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your paths straight. With that, I'm going to close this out, go finish editing this video because I've been editing it here and there today. It's been a full day, but it's been a great day. I'm so glad to say that it was a success. Thank y'all for being here and we will see you next time. Bye y'all.